What is dyspraxia?
I don't know.
What is dyspraxia?
I have no idea.
What is dyspraxia?
Dyspraxia is a development and coordination disorder with aspects of autism, OCD and attention disorder.
Dyspraxia is to do with the thinking of movement and the expression of movement, but particularly fine psychomotor movement, so handwriting, speaking.
What age did you realise your son had dyspraxia?
It's a difficult one because when he was a tiny baby he had a kidney problem, and the paediatrician told me that his development would always be delayed until he was about 7 and he'd eventually catch up. But he did show signs of dyspraxia when he was a baby. He didn't sit up until he was 10 months old. He never crawled, and he didn't actually take any steps walking around furniture, any walking at all, until he was 22 months.
When young people sort of secondary age, secondary school age, which is sort of years 7 to up to 11, and then 11 to 14 for a tertiary education, dyspraxia really becomes, it's the symptom of it in handwriting, and it's also to do with communication.
I knew there was something wrong, but it was just knowing what was wrong. And then I was at a swimming lesson with my other son, and he was wandering around the pool, and another mother whose son had dyspraxia said, "I think your little boy's got dyspraxia." And I'd never heard of it, so I came home and looked it up, and then I spoke to a friend of mine who was a special educational needs coordinator at the high school, and she said, "Well, I think there's something wrong with him." She said, "But I didn't like to tell you."
What help do we provide for students with dyspraxia? Well, there's a number of things. First of all, there is one-to-one study skills support out of class. That can be planning, organising and producing extended writing assignments. So the first thing we'd be looking at is developing laptop, using a word processor, and also there's assistive technologies like voice dictation software as well.
What effects has it had on your family?
Well, we've all helped him along the way. I mean, it's very frustrating for him, especially when he was younger. Not so much now, but other children weren't very nice because obviously they realised he had a problem and they bullied him at school, which made his brothers particularly angry. He can't ride a bike, he can't tie shoelaces.